Greetings to everyone from around the world. My name is Henrik Palmgren and this is Red Eyes Radio. RedEyesCreations.com is our website and we do radio on all the topics that we consider to be interesting and important. Stream or download radio on demand that you can listen to at your convenience directly from our website. Today, researcher Jordan Maxwell returns to our program to continue our conversation about symbolism, the occult, the cover-up of history, and the forces behind government, war, control, and religion. Okay, welcome back to Red Eyes Radio, Jordan Maxwell. It is excellent to have you back with us so soon. How are you today, Jordan?
Well, thank you very much for having me on, and I'm still here despite everything.
Despite everything, yeah, that's right.
I'm still here. I'm still working along, and always happy to be with you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely, it's great to have you, and we always enjoy hearing, from you, and of course, about your work and so forth as well. And I bet many people recall the last show that we did with you not too many months ago now, and we got a lot of email on that, a lot of traffic as well. Of course, people are enthralled in your work, Jordan. That they are in one way or another, they're attracted to your work for obvious reasons, considering your background and how many years you've been studying this. And how are things generally right now over there for you, though? Are you keeping a close eye on the news, or have you decided to just turn it all off, considering all the bad news that we're getting currently, Jordan?
Well, I did that a long time ago. I turned it all off quite a long time ago. That's why I don't almost never talk about daily events or the events of the day or current events. I don't ever comment on current events because there's so much happening every day that, and people are hearing these current events 24/7 on their radio. So I don't feel that it's anything I want to comment on. I have a lot of really important things that I feel that I want to comment on that nobody talks about. So and when I was doing my own radio show, I've had my own show 7 times in the past, and I never talked about current events or what was going on in the world at the time. I couldn't care less. My interest is in all of the dark stuff which is hidden that's timeless. It doesn't matter when you bring it up. It's always important, no matter when you might bring the subject up. So today I don't even care about listening to it. I hear it all the time like everyone else does, but
yeah.
It doesn't affect me. I don't care what's going on in the world. I have some bigger things that I'm concerned with.
Well, that is true, Jordan. I guess the reason why I bring this up is because sometimes now and then the time list that you do talk about seeps through, obviously, in the mainstream media. And one of the things that I know that you've been talking about quite a lot in the past, of course, as well, is this whole idea of the symbolism of the dawn. And I guess the reason why I wanted to address that a little bit is because of some of the recent actions that have been taken against Libya, on Libya, and the fact that they dubbed the whole operation Odyssey Dawn. Did you hear about that, Jordan? Yeah.
Oh, yes. And because every time they do something like that, every time somewhere, some government in the world comes up with something with dawn in it, I get tons of emails from all over the world, quite literally from all over the earth, saying, well, here it is again, Jordan, what you were saying. I started talking about the symbolism, the occult or hidden implications of the term dawn and dawn of a new day. And I've been looking at it since 1967. So that's a long time ago. I don't even know how many years that is, but it's well over like 35, 40 years ago. I was talking about and looking and researching the subject of the new dawn, or the dawn of the new day, in relation to the occult world, what that means. And it is so well hidden, you will never be able to figure it out unless somebody shows you the connections, because it's so deeply rooted in the ancient world, and it's a type of subject that unless you see it a long time, over and over, before you finally begin to understand what the symbolism means. And that's quite a subject, that whole idea of the dawn. That was even before this last one. There was another one where Obama said that at the end of last year, I think he said they were going to change the whole operation in the Middle East and call it Operation New Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, wow, man, it's right there in your face. I know exactly what he's talking about. It's just, unfortunately, the rest of this country of America, they have no idea in the world what he's talking about. So it's quite a story, that whole concept and whole hidden or occult idea of the new dawn, a dawn of a new day. Boy, that's really a scary subject when you get into it, and we could probably talk about that a bit today.
What do you make of the occult aspects of warfare overall? Or do we just tie some of the loose ends together in terms of this recent invasion now? It happened on March 19th. This was the Jewish day of Purim, by the way, and it was also the day where they invaded Iraq in 2003, also on March 19th. And this Purim, the festivity, there was, as far as I recall, this was when the ancient Hebrews were released from their captivity in, I think it was in Persia, ancient Persia, or possibly Babylon. What is the significance of that? Do you think? Does that part play into this as well?
Well, I heard a guy working for the government here in America, CIA or NSA agent, was on the radio. And he said that, I thought it was very important. He said, my job at the agency is I carry a laptop computer, which is filled with all of the hidden dates and mystical symbols and dates. And that's one of my jobs, is to correlate and connect dates and times with the ancient occult world. And he said, I've been doing that for years. That's one of the things I do for the CIA. I just thought that was very interesting, that there are people hired to do nothing but check all the ancient dates of the world, religious observances, all the symbols, and then make it available for the modern day military-industrial complex and governments to start their wars, to end their wars, all kinds of manipulation based on ancient significant dates and mystical symbols. So yeah, there is something to this whole idea that these wars are started on certain days, they end on certain days. It's all part of a blood ritual that's been going on for thousands of years. It's really quite an extraordinary story when you start looking into the world of the occult. And the very word occult, I would caution, simply means hidden. Doesn't mean it's bad or evil or of the devils. Occult is a Latin word simply meaning hidden. And so much of what is actually going on, factual history, has been hidden. And that's one of the things, that's one of the reasons why the world is in so much confusion. Because there are two realities at work right now on the earth. There's the one you see and you understand, the one everyone lives by. That's one reality. But the actual reality of the world is far, far different. There's a whole hidden world of symbolism, words, and terms, and emblems, national coats of arms, halotry, flags, corporate logos. There's a whole underworld of darkness going on throughout the world, and it's basically the bottom line on government, religion, commerce. All use these occult symbols and manipulate times and dates. So that's what I've been interested in all my life, and I saw this thing about dawn of a new day, and the new day and the new dawn symbolism, as I said, back as far back as 1967, and I began researching and studying it. And I'm telling you, there is more to this story than meets the eye. And if you see my video called Dawn of a New Day, that doesn't even begin to scrape the surface of what I have. But I had to boil it all down so I could get it onto one little video. But I could do about an 8-hour lecture just on that symbol with how Hollywood uses the exact same words and terms in movies and music, television shows, and business, corporations. It's everywhere. And if you understand the significance of the symbol of the sun rising between two mountains and the term dawn of a new day or new dawn, if you understand the hidden symbolism as it is used by the occult world. Now, there is a magazine in Australia called New Dawn. I love that magazine.
That's
I
great.
love the people.
Yeah, that's right.
They are sensational. They're using the term in a generic way, and I know because I've talked with them, and I know they're using it in a generic way, basically the way the ancient peoples originally understood the concept of New Dawn, meaning that the sun was the bringer of light, and the light that came into the world. Well, we know that light is always associated with intellectual or spiritual enlightenment. Mm. So when you're ignorant, you are in the dark. But when you're enlightened, you are a holder of light, or your whole life emanates light. And so, in the correct, and a good way of using that, the New Dawn magazine is using it in that way. But there is an occult use of it by politicians and religious leaders, and especially the commercial systems of this world use that in its dark way, and the really occult and hidden symbolism. And this is what one of my latest videos is also a follow-up on that Dawn of a New Day video. I've got a new one out called Lucifer and the New Age, which touches on that same subject again about the dawn. It has to do with also Lucifer. It has to do with the New Age. It has to do with interesting connections to religion and commerce and government, and it's really, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most important subjects on the earth today. And I haven't even scraped the surface with that. With my first try, my first video was called Dawn of a New Day. Mm. That's I think probably well enough done that you can at least get the point of what I'm trying to say, because I don't have the funds or the help to actually put together a top-of-the-line presentation like I would like to. I've never had the money to do the things I wanted to do because I spend all of my time in libraries reading and studying. And if you do that day in and day out for 50 years and just try and stay alive, and you're ultimately going to pay the price by not having anything, because it's an old saying that poverty is the disease of a scholar. And the reason why is because if you're going to school, if you're out every day doing research and studying, you're not out making money. Well, at the end of your life, you find out you don't have any money to do anything with the knowledge that you have. So that's always been my problem. So now I just put the information out there the best I can with what I have to work with.
Which is great. It needs to get out there. And again, what you have is a treasure in terms of many of the things you have dug up, both in the past and what you're doing currently, and also, that many people are, learning and advancing from that. It's like an own little online school, if you will, but there's no kind of a curriculum. People can come to this from whatever angle, and they can continue it, in whatever way they want, which is, fantastic. That's right.
I'm not trying to present any kind of my own ideas. I'm very interested in just showing where things come from, where concepts and ideas originate, and how they have mutated and evolved and came down to us today. And so when you begin to see where the things that we believe today, where they actually came from,